Do you have students in your class who are also working a part-time job to help pay the bills? Just raise your hands, please. There we go. Okay, good, good, good. So a student who says they do not have time, well, what ways can we turn that into an advantage? How can we turn that around into something that's positive, into something that's going to help them? Well, one way is we can say, well, you're going to be a great time management ninja. Like you have to know how to manage your time better, right? Because it's amazing that students who are in school, they're managing to keep up. Otherwise, if they're not keeping up, they wouldn't be there, right? So that's amazing. That's a great strength to have, to be able to balance school and work. So we can tell our students, look, this is an advantage. You're starting early. Because let's say if you go to college, perhaps you would have to work, but you're lucky. You get to start in high school. You get to start. So you see what I'm trying to do here? I'm just repositioning the negative into something positive. So I want you to think about your students right now. What other challenges have students shared with you? Have they expressed with you? And I want you to think about how would you respond? What would you tell your student? Like, how can I turn this challenge into something that is positive? So think about that for a moment here. And I'll give you some other examples as well. Like, let's say if a student says, well, I'm poor. Like my parents are poor. We don't have money. I don't know how I'm going to go to college. I don't know where we're going to get the money. Well, look, there are so many resources, great opportunities resources available for people who are low income. That can work out to be your advantage. You say it's a disadvantage, but look, you can get a Pell Grant. There's so many other resources available for students who are low income. Well, let's say a student says, um, Mr. Smith or Mrs. Williams, uh, I have a physical disability. I have a physical disability. Well, how am I going to respond as an educator to reposition my student to begin to see that they can stand out being themselves and succeed? Here's what I would say. I would say, you are not weird, you are memorable. You are not weird, you are memorable. Well, I have a physical disability. Well, that's okay. It's all right. You're not weird, you're memorable. You're memorable. People will remember you. So again, we're turning the negative into something positive. We're turning the negative into something positive. So what I want you to do is for a moment right now is to begin to think about what would you say to the other students in your class who have expressed different challenges? What are some other challenges? And I'm sure you have a list there, right? You thought of different challenges that students have shared with you. Can you write next to that list what you would say? I'll give you about a minute or so quickly. Just jot down whatever comes to mind. But again, what we're doing is we're repositioning our students. We want to reposition them. We want them to see that it's okay to be themselves. They can stand out. They can be comfortable being themselves. They can be confident being themselves, embracing where they are and turning whatever it is that's a disadvantage in their eyes, in their mind, into something positive. So if you're still with me, if you can hear me clearly, please give me a thumbs up. If you can hear me, all right, there we go. So that same list, I want you to write down, what would you say for each of those challenges? And we'll just take a minute and then you can do this later for homework. Oh, what? You didn't know you were going to have homework today. Yes, you get homework. Yes, homework. All right. So just go ahead and write down what you would say to each. How would you respond to each one of the challenges on the list that you wrote? So you can just, I'll give you a minute. So if it's just one that you write down, that's okay. If you get to do 2 or 3, that's all right. So go ahead and get started, please. All right.